The America's Got Talent stage glows with anticipation as a young Filipino man walks out, dressed in a sharp, vintage Elvis-style suit. His jet-black hair is slicked back perfectly, and the shine of his polished shoes catches the light with every step. The massive audience murmurs with curiosity, unsure what to expect from the soft-spoken contestant who introduces himself with a humble smile. The judges exchange quick glances. Simon Cowell, ever the skeptic, folds his arms and leans forward slightly. As the lights dim and the first notes of "Can't Help Falling in Love" fill the theater, the contestant grips the microphone and begins to sing. Instantly, the atmosphere changes. His voice, deep, warm, and eerily reminiscent of Elvis Presley, echoes through the hall, wrapping everyone in nostalgia. The audience, initially quiet, begins to sway gently. The camera captures Simon's eyes widening as if in disbelief. The contestant stands tall, confident but emotional, channeling Elvis's presence with every movement. The background lights shift to soft blue and gold, adding to the vintage charm. Each lyric flows with sincerity, not imitation. The judges grow silent, fully absorbed in the performance. For that brief moment, it feels as if the king himself has returned to the AGT stage, and the crowd realizes they are witnessing something truly extraordinary, a voice that bridges generations and revives the timeless soul of Elvis Presley. As the song continues, the young Filipino performer begins to truly own the stage. His confidence blossoms with every lyric, his deep voice resonating through the theater like a warm echo from the past. The crowd, once cautious, starts to cheer and clap in rhythm with the music. The stage lights shift to a radiant gold, illuminating his silhouette as he moves with the same effortless grace that made Elvis a legend. Every flick of his wrist, every sway of his hip feels natural, not rehearsed, as if the spirit of rock and roll itself flows through him. Simon Cowell leans forward, eyes locked on the performer, visibly impressed but still trying to maintain his composure. Sofia Vergara covers her mouth in disbelief, and Heidi Klum whispers something excitedly to Howie Mandel, who nods in amazement. The audience members rise from their seats, some recording the moment on their phones, others simply soaking in the magic. The contestant closes his eyes during a powerful line, his voice trembling with emotion, giving the impression that he's not just performing, he's living every word. The music builds to a crescendo, the sound filling every corner of the room. The energy in the studio is electric, alive, and contagious. By this point, everyone realizes this isn't just a tribute, it's a rebirth of Elvis's golden voice, performed with pure heart and passion. As the music swells into the bridge, the Filipino performer takes a deep breath and unleashes a powerful, soul-stirring note that surprises everyone in the room. The lights flash brighter, golden beams cutting through the stage fog as his voice soars effortlessly to new heights. The audience gasps in awe, then erupts into wild applause mid-performance. The contestant's expression is pure emotion, his eyes closed, face lifted toward the ceiling, every note carrying both power and vulnerability. It's no longer just an imitation of Elvis, it's his own unique rendition, filled with authenticity and raw passion. Simon Cowell nods slowly, a rare smile creeping across his face. Howie Mandel jumps up, shouting, "That's incredible," while Sophia and Heidi exchange stunned glances, their hands pressed to their chests. The camera pans across the audience, some people have tears in their eyes, others are on their feet clapping to the rhythm. The contestant ends the high note with a flawless vibrato, and the sound lingers in the air like electricity. As the music begins to fade, he strikes the classic Elvis pose, knees bent, microphone tilted, one hand pointing outward. The crowd explodes, chanting his name over the roaring applause. The stage lights dim slightly as the final chord plays, and for a moment, the entire theater feels suspended in time, united in admiration for a performance that has just become legendary. When the final note fades, the theater erupts into thunderous applause that echoes off every wall. The contestant stands motionless for a moment, breathing heavily, his eyes glistening with emotion as he realizes what just happened. One by one, all four judges rise to their feet, giving him a standing ovation. The crowd follows, cheering wildly, waving their hands in the air, and shouting his name. Simon Cowell, still standing, gives a slow, deliberate clap with a look of genuine admiration, a rare sight that instantly makes the moment unforgettable. Heidi Klum is the first to speak, her voice filled with excitement. "That didn't just sound like Elvis, it felt like Elvis," she says, pointing toward the contestant with a huge smile. Sofia Vergara nods, adding, "You brought his spirit back to life. That was magical." Howie Mandel laughs in disbelief, saying, "I've been watching this show for years, and I've never seen an audience react like that." The contestant covers his mouth, overwhelmed by emotion, trying to hold back tears. Simon finally steps forward and says, "You didn't come here to imitate Elvis, you came here to honor him. And you did that perfectly." The crowd roars again as the camera zooms in on the contestant's face. He's smiling now, his dream of performing on this stage fulfilled beyond anything he ever imagined. It's a once-in-a-lifetime moment of triumph. As the applause begins to calm, Simon Cowell glances down at the golden buzzer, his expression unreadable. The audience senses what's coming and starts chanting, "Golden! Golden! Golden!" The tension builds in the room, lights flickering dramatically as the contestant stands center stage, tears still glimmering in his eyes. Simon takes a deep breath, gives a small smile, and suddenly slams his hand onto the golden buzzer. Instantly, the theater explodes into chaos and celebration. Golden confetti bursts from the ceiling, swirling through the air like a shimmering storm. The contestant drops to his knees, overcome with emotion, his hands covering his face as tears of disbelief stream down his cheeks. The other judges cheer and rush to embrace him. Simon steps onto the stage, shaking his hand firmly before pulling him into a rare, heartfelt hug. "You didn't just sound like Elvis," Simon says over the cheers, "you brought his spirit back tonight." The music swells with victory as the contestant looks around in awe, gold glitter landing on his shoulders and hair. The audience is on their feet, clapping, crying, and celebrating together. Cameras flash from every angle, capturing the historic moment. The young Filipino performer stands once more, pointing toward the sky in gratitude, his dream realized in the most magical way possible, a golden moment that will live forever in AGT history.